Hey there, Five Knuckle fans. I did my framing slightly different so you could see the post-it dick note art that my roommate kindly made on my wall, and I thought it was appropriate for this movie because it had a few dick jokes in it. Fist Fight, starring Charlie Day and Ice Cube. That is the movie I saw, and it was alright. It's a very basic plot with not much to it that relies entirely on its gags and physical humor. And if the kind of things don't appeal to you, then there's not much left to be found in this movie. First, starting out, I like some of the visual gags, and I like some of the physical humor in this movie. Charlie Day and Ice Cube, I'm a personal fan of, so seeing them interact on screen, especially Charlie Day, was humorous for me, and the secondary cast themselves brought a lot to the table. I liked Tracy Morgan a little bit in this. I felt he wasn't given enough lines to really bring in the laughs. I think the one that did that for me was the borderline pedophile counselor who's like always waiting for the students to turn 18 so she can bang them. She had some pretty good lines here and there. It was pretty funny. But again, the plot is really basic, and you would have to set aside your suspension of disbelief to accept the fact that the characters in this movie are pretty dumb and or irrational in their actions. But if you can sort of accept that, then it's a smooth ride for you. If it's just too unrealistic, then yeah, that'll hurt your movie watching experience quite a bit. Again, you need a certain sense of humor for watching this kind of movie. I could see either way people really liking it because the crowd I watched it with at my school laughed their asses off at it, myself included, but there were a few people around me that didn't get much of a chuckle out of this movie. So, I can see both sides. I, of course, tend to go to the more funny route and say this was a funny movie. And funny was about all it was. It did have some emotional moments involving Charlie Day and not being there for his daughter, but they felt a bit tacked on. They didn't really feel like they were fully developed and integrated into the story. Maybe one or two more scenes involving his family, maybe at the beginning of the film or maybe near the middle again, would have further cemented these moments instead of having about 3 scenes of them and that being it. Although it did lead to a funny sequence I'll get to in the spoiler section. Again, this is entirely a comedy that bases itself off of its jokes and nothing else, and if the sense of humor doesn't appeal to you, then there's not much left for you to enjoy with this movie. Overall, I would not recommend this movie, though that's specifically for the case that it requires a certain sense of humor in order to enjoy this movie. I know I said the same thing with the Lego Batman movie, but with the Lego Batman movie there was more to it than just the humor. With this one, it's entirely relying on the humor, and if you don't find it funny, then there's nothing left for you in the movie. And it's for that reason that it gets a not recommended rating on my pretentious ass channel. Alright, spoiler section. Gonna get into the spoilers, some of the climax and the jokes. First thing going forward, the crowd loved it when when the little girl at the end sang that "I Don't Fuck With You" song. With Charlie Day just dancing and acting all like shocked and appalled by it. It was pretty funny. It was no Little Miss Sunshine dance sequence, but it works though. Good job there. And I like the final fight scene. I was actually really worried in how it started out that it was just going to be one punch and over. But no, it seems like at first he's knocked out, but he gets back up and things get crazy. And the car, and bodies slamming each other. Eventually, yeah, it's realistic that he would lose, all things considered. But I at least like the fact that they gave us a good climax and didn't just base it all on the one-punch anticlimactic joke that I expected them to do. It is strange that Ice Cube's plan worked in the end, where having 2 teachers fight would lead the media to believe that it's the school system to blame and not specifically them. I do question the logistics of that, but I kind of get it. I kind of do. But we all know how the media twists things. We know how they would twist that story into being something that it wasn't. So he would have to be betting on a lot in order for that plan to work. my light just went out. But I guess the plan worked in the end because all the teachers got their jobs back and Charlie Day and Ice Cube are on better terms since Ice Cube got everything he wanted in the end, and so did Charlie Day. Again, it's dumb comedy that banks entirely on its comedy in order to get by. I don't regret seeing it. I probably wouldn't see it again since now I know, all the jokes and everything. Crazy ass drivers in Chicago, man. They drive me crazy. It is 2:07 at night and they're honking their horns next to the windows, okay? We're trying to sleep. What's the matter with you? But those are just my thoughts, guys. What are yours? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on social media. And always, stay golden. That's my new catchphrase. I'm going to say that every now and again. I'm going to say stay golden. It's gonna be a big quote. It's gonna be a quote in our videos from here on out. At least my videos. A couple of my videos. Maybe.